Generational wealth accumulated before I'm married. This is many moves. This is how many moves. This is many moves. This is how many moves. Dispatching trucks, broker to get bucks. Got duties putting up, giving knowledge. That's what's up. This is many moves. This is how many moves. Getting on it now. Many moves. This is how many moves. Dispatching trucks, broker to get bucks.
Had to get on it. Once you get on it, you own it.
That's what's up.
Big salute to all of my veterans out here. Big shout out to all of my subscribers. Man, like I tell you guys, can't go one video without showing my appreciation. So man, let's roll off into this content, man. We're gonna talk about, should freight brokers, should it be mandatory for basically the FMCSA or any type of trucking guidelines out here in this industry to basically say that freight brokers need to disclose how much money they are making with the carriers out here, right? So like I tell you guys, man, I gotta make content and create content by wearing different hats. By me coming off into this business, starting with a trucking company, I understand, you know, everything about running a trucking company, running a dispatching company, running a freight brokerage, leasing on owner operators, right? So I just can't never just give it to you one way. You know, that ain't never been my life anyway. I always got to step out my shoes and put myself in the other person's shoes just to really try, at least try to understand, you know, either where they coming from or the knowledge level that they have too, right? Or why they do the things that they do. So for you guys out here, man, that are truckers, and this is mostly going to be, a lot of truckers are going to be complaining about this too, right? So like I say, man, don't get mad at Manny. Manny is just a messenger. Manny just have acquired, you know, knowledge over the past few years in this trucking industry. And some people might just want to become a freight broker. A lot of people don't want to go out and buy trucks and get hit with that big overhead. They just want to become a freight broker. They just want to become a dispatcher, or maybe they just want to go out and just start a trucking company where they're just leasing on owner operators too, right? So a lot of truckers are always going to be complaining about freight brokers. Truckers have always complained about freight brokers too, right? Even when I started my trucking company, I used to complain about the freight brokers until I became one, right? So let me tell you guys out here real quick, should freight brokers have to tell the actual carriers how much money they're making off the load? Do any other freight brokers in any other industry, do stock brokers, do real estate brokers, auto brokers, boat brokers, do they have to tell their customer how much money that they're making, you know, off of that transaction? Why? Anybody in any illegal businesses out here that's basically brokering deals out, do you guys have to tell your customer how much money you're making? It's really none of the trucking companies, what's that word I'm looking for? It's none of the trucking companies' business, right? You got to learn how to run your business. You got to learn how to grow your business and stop complaining out here. It don't matter how much money the freight broker is making, man. If a carrier asks me how much money I'm making off the transaction, I really don't mind sharing it with them too. Just because I got experience from all levels. I don't mind sharing knowledge. But I'm basically saying that freight brokers out here, they shouldn't have to tell the trucking company how much money they're making off that transaction. That trucking company should become a freight broker and stop booking loads off the load board if that's the case, right? So for you guys out here, it don't really matter. You don't have to be counting the next person's pockets. That's what's wrong with the world. You know, we all worried about the next person. Man, I'm telling y'all, when I stop worrying about the next person, when I stop and let relationships go in my life, I'm telling you, nothing matters. Nothing matters but what I'm doing. How much money am I making? So for you truckers out here, man, if you feel that the freight brokers are taking too much money out of the loads and trying to broker out cheap freight to you, just don't book it. I don't care if you just got to have your truck sitting in front of your house until the rates go back up. You got to figure out what else are you going to be doing in this business. You guys just can't run a trucking company out here and think that you're going to be successful. And now when the freight rates basically don't go up, but the fuel rates go up, you know, skyrocketed, cutting into that trucker's profit. You got to be figuring out, man, what else can I be doing? What else can I be doing with my authority right now? A lot of people got an MC number, a motor carrier number, got your own authority, but you haven't even leased on one owner operator to your trucking company. What are you waiting for? Start leasing on these owner operators to your trucking company so that you guys could cut down your overhead, so that you could stop paying your truck note, your trailer note, your unexpected maintenance, your fuel costs. Let those owner operators run under your authority. Charge them a percentage. Dispatch them, sit back, and make money off that percentage too. And that's going to be a way that you guys can start earning additional money out here, man. So a lot of truckers out here, they want freight brokers to start showing the rates and all of that. Man, it don't matter what the freight broker is making. The freight broker got the knowledge and the hustle to go and get that freight so that the trucking companies out here can have freight to haul, right? Everything in this world is a service too. Freight brokers are only providing a service out here. Sitting back, making a percentage, making some money off the top of the load, man, just like any other broker in any other industry. Why should I be required to show a trucking company how much money I'm making off the transaction, right? Being a freight broker, it's all about your hustle and how well can you negotiate. If you could negotiate and make, you know, a crazy amount of profit out of that load, and the trucking company is still going to eat, you're still giving the trucking company a good dollar per mile. It's business, right? It's just business out here, man. And I'm telling you, everything in life is business. And I mean everything. It's just business. So the truckers who are worried about the freight brokers right now, thinking that the freight brokers are making too much money out of these transactions, man, freight brokers are just making the same amount of money as freight brokers are making the same amount of money that they have been making for years. It ain't really no big difference, you know? The only thing about the trucking industry right now is that the freight rates haven't increased, but the fuel prices have. So now that's eating into the trucker's profit. Some truckers might be paying $1,000 every week for fuel. Now they paying $3,000 every week. Now that $2,000 times 4, $8,000 every month, that was a trucker's profit. But it's going straight back into the fuel costs. So a lot of truckers are going to talk about the freight broker. And that's just part of business, you know? Everybody always want to talk about somebody else, but never want to really learn it and do it. You know, see, I'm not that type of person. I never been that type of person. I never been a person to say, well, how much money is, you know, he making? Well, he's making that much money, I'm mad. You know, I've always been the type of person to say, oh man, you making that much money over there? All right, teach me how to. Or I'm just gonna learn indirectly. I ain't gonna never sit back and pocket watch or hate. You know, it ain't about that out here. So I understand too. Like I say, I gotta wear, you know, multiple hats from the trucking side. So I feel you truckers out here, you know, you believe that the freight brokers are taking too much money out of the rates, and that's leaving you with little or no profit, right? I understand. But what you gonna do about it is the question, you know? Even if the freight broker told you how much money they making out of the transaction, that don't mean that they got to give more to you, too. They could tell you right now, man, all right, I'm about to broker this load out to you for $1,000, right? And they could show you that they just got $2,000 from the shipper. They gonna make $1,000, you gonna make $1,000, but they really gonna make $1,000 because they don't got all of that overhead, you know? That's one thing I learned about trucking, man. It's too much overhead in the trucking. You know, you guys got to learn that dispatch and brokering. You guys got to take your authority and start leasing on owner-operators too, right? So, anyway, man, looking at the time, I'm coming up on 10 minutes. I got to get back to this PT. I could probably talk for another 10 minutes, but I'll say that for the next video. Man, if you guys have any questions out here, hit me on my text message 317-953-8943. Go visit my website, www.extraordinarymovement.com. Go get you 30-day free trial with DAT load board. Go sign up with TAFS, Trans Am Financial Services. If you guys are looking for a factoring service, everything in the description link below. And like I say, oh man, that's pretty nice over here. Ain't nothing like trucking too, though. Ain't nothing like trucking, man. I love trucking. Love it. CEO, commit, execute, and be obsessed. Everybody be great out there.